And welcome along to the Oceania Squash Championships here at the Remuera Rackets Club in Auckland. Finals day and plenty of finals today as well, starting with the 11 girls, 11 boys, then we'll go 13 girls, 13 boys, 15s, you get it, 15 girls, 15 boys, 17 girls, 17 boys, and then we'll be up to the 19 girls, and finally, well, the final of the day, that is, will be the 2 p.m. and it'll be the under 19-year-old men. You can call them boys, you can call them men. That'll be a good one as well. All the way through, plenty of finals today. So keep an eye on this live stream. And coming up very shortly, it'll be Grace Spencer against Zoe Lepper in the under 11 girls. That match about to get underway in about 3-4 minutes, and plenty of great squash action. So keep on watching. Keep an eye here on the live stream, and we'll give you commentary as well and interviews all the way through today. So keep on watching. Plenty of great finals throughout the day. and gentlemen, great to have you all here, and great to have you here for the first final of the day. And this is the under-11 girls final of the Oceania Championships. And I'm going to introduce the first player. So Zoe Lepper, come on out. Let's have a round of applause for our first player. And her opponent today, Grace Spencer. Come on out, Grace. These two players have made it through to the final here of the under-11 girls, and the referee today is Matey Galloway. Big round of applause for our referee as well. Been working hard all throughout the last few days. And this final is the best of 5. Girls, you ready? All right, that's a big yes there. All right, have we got a ball here for the players to practice? We need a ball for the warm-up. I think we might have, we got that somewhere? Got the ball? Go and get the ball there? Okay, there you go. All right, the girls are going to have their warm-up here for a couple of minutes, and then it's underway in the under-11 girls final. Off you go, girls. It's all yours. and getting underway here in the under-11 girls final at the Oceania Championships. Zoe Lipper against Grace Spencer. It's a couple of the top seeds as well. And Zoe Lipper, well, she spends a lot of time around the Squash XL Club. In fact, I think she spends more time there than she does at school, but she loves it so much as well, and a very enthusiastic player. So these girls just underway here in the first point. Both players down the backhand side, now the cross. And you can see Zoe trying to make it into the centre of the court, up there to the tee. And this will be a good rally there for the two of them to start off with, to ease into their final. Although both of them did say that they weren't nervous at all. And waiting there for it to be a let. We're here at Remuera Rackets Club. This is court 6. On court 3 is the 3rd and 4th place matches. For the 11 girls, it was a 6 draw, so 6 players in the draw, and a round robin format, but this is the grand final as such. 9 other finals today as we go through all the age groups from 11s through to 19s, and the 19 men in particular, basically professional players ranked on the PSA World Rankings. And now there with the score, Zoe Lipper has raced out to 6-1 already over Grace Spencer. Been able to dominate the court there. Oh, down on the ground. Doesn't look to be in too much pain at the present time. So back up. No, just checking on her leg. A little bit of a tumble there in the right hand part of the court, the forehand back there. So 6-2 Lipper over Grace Spencer. Make that 6-3 now. And a little bit of an error there, trying to force it a bit too much. Maybe feeling the effects of the little tumble that she took there, Zoe Lipper. But in the meantime, Grace Spencer up 6-4 in the opening game. Oh, a little bit messy there. Mistimed the smash completely, Zoe Lipper. But Grace Spencer coming back, 5-6, looking to make it 6-all in this, the first game of the first final of the Oceania Squash Championships. Another little bit of an error on the forehand side. Zoe Lipper, we're back to 6 apiece. It was out early, 5-1 to Zoe Lipper, but now it is Grace Spencer equal with her, 6 apiece. And both players making a few early errors, as you'd expect. This is probably one of their first big finals, and also that it's televised as well, or live streamed. Zoe Lipper up 7-6 in the first game. And with so many finals going all the way through till 2 o'clock today, as people just slowly coming in. A little bit of a chilly morning in Auckland to start with, but it's certainly going to be fine during the day. So people warming up, and also the squash courts warming up as well. No doubt later on today there'll be a bit of humidity around the squash courts here at Remuera Rackets Club. As we look at the score now, Zoe Lipper 8-7 over Grace Spencer. Bit of a unorthodox high smash as such from Zoe Lipper, but she's up 9-7 now. A strong backhand from Grace Spencer. And 9-8. So keeping tabs after Lipper had managed to get out to a 6-1 lead in the opening stages. But then a few uncharacteristic errors, particularly down the forehand side, hitting the tin. It's now a game point there for Lipper over Spencer in the first game of the first finals of the Oceania Championships. And forcing her into the backhand corner. Spencer nabs the point. Now 9-10 at the serve. Now dominating in the middle. And we've got it up to 10 apiece. All right, and Lipper now with the game point again. Forehand winner with the serve. Oh, right into the body there, but managed to force it away. Down the backhand side, both players. and dominating up front, and with the winner there, the backhand winner at cross court, managed to get herself into a top position, and Leper taking the first game 12-10. So that is the first game here of the first final. The under 11 girls, Leper taking the first game at 12-10 over Spencer. Remembering that we have the 11 boys coming up next, followed by all through the age groups, 13s, the 15s, the 17s, and then the 19s. Starting at, got the first one there, the girls at 1:20, and the boys are scheduled for 2 p.m. onwards. And all the big finals, the presentations, well, they'll be after the end of the 19 boys finals. So we should be finishing up probably around about 3 o'clock, maybe, or around about there at the completion of the under 19 boys. Then with all the presentations as well. So a lot of thank yous to be done, a lot of thank yous, because there's been around about 170 different players from Australia, New Zealand, and also Fiji here at Remuera Rackets. And don't forget the supporters, the coaches, the parents as well. A lot of people interested, and interested to watch the finals, see the results. Also a little bit on some of these finals as well. A little bit of players wanting to beat their rivals from across the Tasman, and vice versa. And the first point of the second game to Leper, looking to get into the middle of the court there and just move Spencer around. She's up 2-0 already. 2-0 in the second game after winning the first 12-10. So from the forehand side. Back into the forehand corner. We haven't seen any drop shots as such. Well, not many so far. Both players are really wanting to hit with a lot of power. We're in the backhand corner, now over to the forehand side, and a strong forehand there. 3-love to Leper. She does like that forehand shot. Sometimes it's a little bit careless, but this is in the finals, so a few nerves coming off so far. 3-1 to Leper over Spencer in the second game. Make that 3-2. Leper leading, and Spencer though with the serve. Great to have all of these finals live streamed so people around the country can see them, and in Australia as well. And good that we can actually see juniors their day. And an error in the forehand corner, deep in the forehand corner. Spencer up 4-3. Into the backhand, and another error there. Leper loves those powerful shots, but sometimes just gets a little bit carried away. It is now Spencer up 5-3 and serving from the forehand side. And now Leper with the serve 4-5. Another forehand winner coming up close there to the wall. Making it 5-all now. That forehand certainly very favourable for Zoe Leper. And 6-5. Leper after winning the first 12-10. Up to 7-5. Remembering that she did have her first game lead of 6-1. That's Leper there. And then it was a comeback with both players forcing the issue. But now it is 6-7 in the second. And an error off the backhand side there for Spencer. It gives Leper an 8-6 lead, and serving from the forehand side. Into the corner. Both players a little bit exasperated with themselves, making some errors, and perhaps a little bit of consistency would be good for them both. But we've got to remember that this is the final. It's pretty early in the morning. We're still at 20 past, or just before 20 past 8 in the morning. Very early for a lot of people. I'm sure the under-19s may not have risen just yet. But these girls into the second game of the final. And 9-8 to Zoe Leper over Grace Spencer. Good to see both players into their final. A little bit nervous to start with, and that is game point to Leper. After winning the first 12-10, she's now up 10-8. 7 from the backhand side. And the winner there, going up high, smashing it down, making it too difficult for Spencer to retrieve. That is 2 games to love. Getting through it pretty quickly. Zoe Lepper winning the first 12-10, and now the second 11-8 over Grace Spencer. 2 games to love in this first final, the under-11 girls. And back now for the third game. 1-1 already, make that 2-1 to Grace Spencer over Zoe Lepper. Of course, it was Lepper winning the first 2, 12-10, then 11-8. And Lepper really liking the forehand side, high risk at times, but also giving her the winners. Spencer possibly stronger off the backhand side. But now it is 2-3. Lepper is serving against Spencer. So Spencer there with the 3. There we go. Lepper very much exasperated with herself there. Backhand error. Certainly the forehand is her strength at the present time. Loves to really go for it there. And there we go. Just leaning against the back wall and thinking, what's going on here? And that is a little bit of an error as such. And the scoreboard there, of course, saying that it's 1 game to Lepper. It is actually 2. She's won the first 12-10 and the second 11-8, but down 3-5 in the second. And both of these players similar heights as such, and certainly perhaps a bit more power for Lepper at this stage. But of course they are under 11s, very keen players, both of them. It is currently 6-4, serving for the forehand there. That is Grace Spencer. And a little diff shot there, didn't quite come off on the backhand side. We haven't seen too much of that just yet. There we go, thank you very much. We've got all the rest of the finals all sorted out, of course, today. The 11 boys coming up next, then the 13s, 15s, 17s and 19s with the under-19 boys final. That will be later today between Gabe Yam and Anthony Lepper. That match will be from 2 p.m. So 6-all in the third. Make that 7-6. Spencer winning that one with a error from Zoe Lepper there on the forehand side. High risk at times, but when it comes off, it looks great. And look, there we go. That's the deft little shot we wanted to see. Been looking for some of those drop shots and a little bit of take the power off, and that was it there. Spencer 8-6 in the third. There we go. There's the big forehand again from Lepper, loving that shot. And she wins that point and also have the serve at 7-8 down in this, the third, up by 2 games to love. The boys' final next will be Eric Marsh against Nikolai Walpers. That is the 2 Australians. And running forward there, not able to get that one. I think Spencer's managed to figure out that let's move around a little bit. Let's move Leper around a little bit. A few short shots may actually be to her benefit. And a few angles as well. Down the backhand side, cross court there. And Spencer down the backhand side again. Seems to really be her strength, but didn't quite come off on that occasion. It is 8-9 Leper. So she's down there. The serve though, no mucking around. Straight into it. Give me the ball, let's play. And again, we're back 9-all. Just seems to get ahead at the vital moments. Leper. Now 9-all in the third. Short ball. Didn't quite come off though. Again, when Spencer uses the angle or shorter shots, seems to get ahead of the ball. Oh, right into the corner. And there we go, takes it there by forcing the ball right into the backhand corner. And Spencer winning the third game, 11-9. So 2-1 games to Leper. Leper winning the first, 12-10, then 11-8. But Spencer coming back and winning the third, 11-9. So we're going to the fourth game in just a couple of moments. And now into the fourth game. First point going to Grace Spencer. She was forcing the back wall there. As points now 1-all. It is Leper serving forehand side. Forcing Grace back into the backhand. And the little shot there looking at the referee. Referee Maddie Galloway, very experienced referee. Not sure what she was looking for there. She couldn't really call, let the players win in each other's way. It was now 2-1 Spencer. Big forehand across. That didn't work. Oh no. Forcing that one too much. Perhaps both of these players need to just settle down. Don't try and play too fast. It's now 2-all in the fourth. And the backhand error. That seems to be what's going on for both players. Just trying to force the ball to the forehand side. Oh, a miss. It is now 4-2, so quickly getting those 2 points advantage there. And Leper 4-2 serving. Looking into the middle there, and the backhand winner volleying it into the corner. She's able to dominate in the middle of the court at times. A little deft shot there by Spencer. Didn't come off though. Leper was able to read it, get up, and actually win the shot. So 6-2 now. Fourth game. A bit of power coming into it there. Both players forcing her back in there. That was Leper forcing play back, and both players down on the ground again almost. Likes putting her body on the line. Some good running around. But Spencer managed to figure out that if I move Leper around, give me a bit more time to actually get in there, dominate, look about. And now it's 3-6. All right, that one didn't quite come off though. Volleying high, but the angle too much. 7-3 Leper in the fourth. Make that 7-4. A couple of errors. I'm sure the coaches will be saying to them, just play it slow. You know what to do. Listen to my plans. And again, a winner there. But from the backhand side, that's been a bit of a rarity for Leper. It's been her forehand that has been her strength most of the way through. 5-8 there, Spencer. I mean, she's down by 2 games to 1. But still certainly in this fourth game. A lot more tactics there. was forcing Leather right back into the corner. She came through in the end with a strong forehand. 9-5, so 2 points away from the title. And an error there as Spencer came running across full blast. It is 10-5, game point, match point. And there we go, she's got that there. It is 12-10, 11-8, 9-11, 11-5. The win by 3 games to 1 for Zoe Lepper. Congratulations there. She is the under 11 winner of the Oceania Championships. And well done there for the players. The next final will be the under 11 boys. Eric Marsh against Nikolai Walkers. Both players there from Australia. That is number 1 seed versus the 2nd seed. Coming up not too far away.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready now for the under-11 boys final. I'll introduce the players. The top seed, Eric Marsh.
Eric Marsh from Western Australia. Here we go, Eric. Well done. Stand there. Come back. And from Brisbane, Nikolai Warpers. Come on out, Nikolai, the second seed. All right, this is a best-of-5 final, the under-11 boys final. And now we just wait for the referee, Chris Buckland. We've got a referee there. Where's he gone? Chris Buckland, coming along. All right, good stuff. We're going to wait for that referee. All right, guys, we're going to get your practice underway. You ready for a good final? Yep. Oh, look at that. Confident boys here. All right, so Chris Buckland's our referee. Make sure you acknowledge the referee. You always have to do that. Go on. Okay. All right, good stuff. And you've got your coaches here as well, parents and things. All right, good stuff. Okay, guys, the ball's there. You can get underway. Oh, you've got to get ready for a photo. Come on, guys. Up against the wall there. All right, Shelley Kitchen, take your photo. Big smile. All right, well done, guys. Okay, you can get underway there. You've got the ball, best of 5. You've got Chris Buckland there as your referee. Good stuff.
are now underway with the 11 boys final. And this is the Oceania Championships at Remuera Rackets Club in Auckland. Two Australians, the top seed, Eric Marsh, he's from Western Australia, and Nikolai Walpers from Brisbane, he is the second seed. So the Australians dominating this particular age group. Both players confident going into the match as well. And there we have Marsh in the red and black. He's got his name on the back of his shirt as well. So there's Marsh from Western Australia up 3-1. Walpers in the green and gold of Australia. And certainly in the practice, both players putting a lot of power into their shots. And the last time they played was a win there for Marsh. It was in the Oceania Champs semi-finals last year or thereabouts. And they've only played a couple of times. Results have been shared. And both players just easing their way into this early stage of the game. 4-2 for Marsh against Walpers, the two Australians here in this, the under-11 boys final. Of course, we've already had one final completed, and that was Zoe Lepper winning in 4 over Grace Spencer. And a rally there where Eric Marsh was able to dominate up front, move his opponent around. He's now up 5-2. Be interesting to see the tactics and whether it's all power or whether they're able to take the pace off the ball and off the shot. And some good running there by Walpers, getting back into the rally. But not quite. In the end, it's the error on the forehand going for a little bit too much. But already we've seen Marsh move Walpers around, try and gain momentum by moving it around, not just all power. You can see where he's trying to dominate up the front of the court. There we go. Oh, sliced forehand there, but unorthodox, but effective. And a powerful backhand again by both players. There we go. It's almost a drop. Back into the forehand corner. Walpers up front, and nice backhand into the corner. Gets the double bounce. Just able to get into the middle, control the shot, control the point, and win it there. 3-6. Walpers serving. Eric Marsh, the top seed. Walpers, the second seed. We both love that forehand. And not quite there. It is now 7-3. Marsh, the top seed, against Walpers, the second seed. The two Australians here in the under-11 boys final. Only played each other a couple of times. Results been split. But this time it is Walpers in the forehand corner and able to hit down through the ball, get that double bounce. Marsh not able to get forward enough on that one. Backhand corner there, Marsh trying to get forward. And he did make it on that one, but a deft little drop shot didn't quite come off. We're up 8-4 Marsh. You can see the variety, they're trying for it. They're certainly trying not just to hit the same old shot, that's for sure. Oh, and we're calling for the let on that one. Maybe that was actually a stroke, so Walpers 5-8 down. Marsh on that one wasn't able to get out of the way. Down the backhand side, bit of a sweeping shot. But not coming off. So 6-8, Walpers come back into it. Nice bit of variety in this point. Looking up to the referee, Chris Buckland. Six-8. Marsh dominating the early part of this particular game. Walpers just working his way back into it, although it's Marsh with the lead 9-6. Good bit of variety so far. Didn't seem to be too many nerves when these players came out. They were pretty confident, both of them. Playing down the backhand side. Not quite there on the high backhand for Marsh. Didn't quite work out. Those tend to be a little bit of a weakness for some of the younger players. forehand more natural for a lot of them. And playing the backhand side again. Excuse me. 8-9 Walters coming right back into it. See what he can do here. To serve. Right back deep. The big forehand there, forcing Walters back into the backhand. Down the middle though, could be a bit of trouble. Marsh down the forehand again. A couple of strong forehands down the backhand as well. And backhand shot, let's see, bit of a sweep. Marsh has got to be careful. If he gives away that centre, but this time he was able to get it there, and now he's got game point. 10-8 up in the first game of the under-11 boys final. We have had the under-11 girls already. Zoe Lepper beating Grace Spencer in 4 games. So the 2 Australians here, top seed Marsh against second seed Walters. Marsh from Western Australia, Walters from Brisbane. And there we go, that is the first game, 11-8 to Marsh. So 11-8 first game of this, the under-11 boys final. And we're back into the second game with the top seed Eric Marsh taking out the first 11-8 of a second seed Nikolai Walpers. The 2 Australians, Marsh from Western Australia and Walpers from Brisbane. What we've seen in the first game and so far in the second is that Marsh has used a bit of variety on his opponent. He's able to try and get forward. Then a few angles, a few deft little drop shots. So good to see the change of pace, not just bash and crash. Although there's been, you want to try that every now and then, particularly on the forehand side for these players. Although there has been a few, I guess what you'd call wipers shots on the backhand as well, going cross court. And both players trying to get the edge here. And according to Eric's father, he said they've played both these players, well, a couple of times. And looks to be, from what he can recall, one each. Although the last time they played was at the Oceanias last year. And Marsh coming out the winner there. And both of these players quite confident going onto the court. Quite happy to be out there and playing this game. Interesting with Walpers holding the racket up quite high a lot of the time. A little bit higher than normal. Seems very comfortable with it at the moment. And there we go. That one's back in, off the back wall. On the backhand side. Up front, going for the ankle. Up high. And forehand forcing Marsh back into the corner. And into the backhand corner now. Not quite. Early lead, Marsh running away with this in the second game. 8-1 already. A few errors coming into Walpers' games, probably more so in this second game than in the first. And Marsh getting forward as much as he can. Walpers really finding himself stuck in the corner a lot and basically facing the back wall. Calling for the let or the stroke on that one. Let's see what umpire Chris Buckland's going to do. And players just checking there. What do we have? A let? What do we have? A stroke. Come on, go my way, referee. Chris Buckland's certainly been around for a little while, knows what he's doing on this. It is 8-1. Marsh serving as well, and make that 9-1. Running away with this second game. Top seed, Eric Marsh. Came through the draw reasonably well. A couple little battles as well. Remember, this is the under-11s. And a 9-2. So Walpers gives us a chance to come back a bit more. And backhand there. Start the point. You can see Marsh just trying to work his way forward. Retrieves that one. And did a bit of running in this. There we go. There's the little drop. Not quite enough. Forehand hard down the side. Both players. Now it's Marsh in the corner. Walpers playing that point very well. Moving his opponent into the corners on each occasion. So back into it just a little bit. 3-9 after an early 8-1 there for Marsh. So let's see the fight there from Walpers and how easy he can come back into it. Really into the back corner each time. So a little bit of a comeback. It's going to have to be one heck of a comeback if he wants to take this second game, with Marsh taking the first. 11-8. And are now up with game point 10-3. And there we have it. Walpers not happy with himself. And Marsh all business off the court. I've taken the second one. 11-3 after taking the first. 11-8. So that is 2 games to love there for Eric Marsh, the top seed, over Nikolai Walpers, the second seed in the under-11 boys final. And back into the third game here of the under-11 boys final. Nikolai Walpers, the second seed, up against top seed Eric Marsh, the two Australians. And it's a handy lead for Eric Marsh, taking the first 11-8 and then winning the second game 11-3, up 2-1, make that a 3-1 in the third game as well. It's a handy lead. He really is all business when he's on the court. Efficient in a lot of his shots. And in between points as well, you can see him focusing on what he's got to do next, focusing on each point. And like the second game where he got out to an 8-1 lead, he's now up 4-1, and this the third against Nikolai Walpers. Walpers quite upset, or certainly concerned at the end of the second game, head against the wall thinking, okay, what am I going to do to get back in here? Well, it's now 5-1 to Marsh, top-seeded player from Western Australia. Running around a lot on that one with the backhand shot really into the corner. And this is what these players need to do, is move their opposition around as much as possible. And it seems to be the backhands that are really winning the points for Walpers when he can actually get forward and use it into the corner. In the previous game, it was Marsh who was forcing Walpers back, a long way back. But so far in the second it is 5-2, Eric Marsh. Marsh in the centre, backhand, cross, forehand, cross from Walpers. It's Marsh again with the backhand down the line, and a mistake there from Walpers. He applauds his opponent, opponent's shot. 6-2, Marsh up in the third, and from the forehand side. It was almost a miscued shot by Walpers. It seemed to win that one. Backhand shot, which I'm sure he'll take as a credit for a great winner, but it didn't look as clean as it could have been. But in the end, it's the point. 3-6, Walpers on the serve there. Oh, and Marsh hits the ball into the corner, almost hits himself, and has to get out of his own shot there for a second. But wins it, 7-3 up. This match, under-11 boys final, on court 6 at Remuera Rackets Club. Plenty of matches, plenty of finals to go throughout today. We have the 13 girls next, the 13 boys, 15s, girls and boys, 17s, then the 19s as well. It is 8-3. Make that 4-8. Walpers serving here. The backhand down the line from Marsh. Another backhand there of Walpers. Right into the corner. Backhand from Marsh onto the middle of the court. It's Walpers dominating at the moment. Really running Marsh around. But Walpers back into the backhand corner again. And a sweeper there from Marsh. Marsh across. And the forehand. Pretty close there. Walpers trying to get out of the way. Not quite happening. Marsh now up 9-4, got the stroke on that one. 9-4 in the third, up by 2 games to love already. And now we have Marsh looking very strong. He has game point, match point. 10-4 on the forehand there. Walpers into the forehand again. It's backhand from Marsh. Forehand Walpers, backhand Marsh again down the line. And a little bit of a depth shot, not short enough there from Walpers. Marsh on the backhand, a little bit of a cut. And not coming off on that one. Looking for that backhand slice down the line. Didn't quite come off for for Marsh, that is. So it's Walpers serving, 5-10 down. And there we go, that is it, folks. A win for top seed Eric Marsh. 11-8, 11-3, 11-5. Congratulations there. Eric Marsh, the top seed from Western Australia, is the winner of the under-11 boys. And look at that, the 13s are getting on the court already. Want to get practicing. Eric Marsh, 11-8, 11-3, 11-5. So the next match, Maya Mazouk against Annabelle Romero-Gimmel. Annabelle Romero Gimmel from the Squash Gym Club out of Palmerston North. It's going to be a good match, this one. Both players been very good form. Maya for the 5th seed and Annabelle Romero, the 3rd seed. There's another couple of Romeros there around the Squash Gym area, pretty well known, and I'm sure those people from around Palmy North will know them as well. A lot of good talent coming through Palmerston North at the present time when it comes to squash. So the players just getting ready and about to do a photo before they get underway. And we'll be back with that under 13 girls final very shortly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready now for the Under-13 Girls Final. The Oceania Championships Under-13 Girls Final. Let's introduce our first player, the 5th seed from New South Wales, Australia, Maya Mazouk. Round of applause. And from Palmerston North, Annabelle Romero Gemmell, the 3rd seed. And let's have a round of applause for our referee, Nikki McNaught. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the best of 5 games. All right, players, acknowledge your crowd and the supporters there. Go on, acknowledge them. Put your rackets up. Go on. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, wave out. Good stuff. All right, this is the Under-13 Girls Final. One more round of applause as the players get ready to warm up. All right, well done, girls. You do your warm up if you need.
All right, welcome in here to the Under-13 girls final of the Oceania Championships. And we have the third seed, make that the fifth seed, Maya Mazouk from New South Wales in Australia, taking on the third seed, Annabelle Romero Gimmel from a squash gym out of Palmerston North. And it is Mazouk. She is in the, what are we calling that, pink or purple there? Shelley Kitchen, thank you for joining me. Pink, purple, mauve, and white.
I think mauve,
okay.
Purple mauve and white skirt.
All right, and that is Maya Mazouk there with the mauve up against Annabelle Romero Gimmel. Scores in this, the first game, it is Mazouk 4-3 ahead. Both players already moving a lot. Going to be a lot of energy spent there, particularly for Romero Gimmel. And 5-3 at the moment. Let's wait for the score there to come up. 5-3, Mazouk over Romero Gimmel. But already, as I said, a lot of running from Romero Gimmel.
Yeah, the girls have started off really strong considering it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, doing pretty well. These girls played each other in Trans-Tasman test series only a few days ago with Annabelle winning. So she's definitely sort of got the edge, I guess, ahead of Maya going into this match anyway. But, yeah, looking pretty close at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting for some of the younger players, like we had that in the 11 girls. So it was a bit of nerves to start with. The boys, well, they were both confident, so it didn't matter in the 11 boys. And that one won by top seed Eric March. And this, it just seems that the players are just working out, even though they know each other, working out how to actually play each other. And this, the finals do so many different things. They play on you a bit more mentally. You've got, suddenly the bigger crowd there, just been introduced, and we've got the umpire and everything like that.
Yeah,
that's going to play on the players a little bit, just how they think and how they play.
Yeah, definitely. This is a major championship final for these girls. I think Annabelle was in the Oceania Junior Championship final 2 years ago in the under-11s against Maya Smiles and Henderson, so she has been in this situation before. But yeah, it's going to be really nerve-wracking for them, pretty anxious, and for parents, supporters, coaches and everyone out there, especially the players. So I think they're starting off really well at the moment, moving the ball around really nicely.
And would you say that either player, just even in the few points that we've seen so far, 8-6 for Mazouk over Romero Gimmel at the present time, but would you say that either player looks to have a strength or a weakness, or is it just, feeling the game out so far?
Yeah, they're both pretty, really got good techniques. They're probably a little bit in the middle of the court at the moment. I think that's just nerves. But yeah, placing the ball, pretty well and definitely moving well. So, no, I think they're sort of, just really going for it. Doesn't really.
Well, a backhand winner there, Mazouk 10-6 up. So that is game point on this, the first game of the under-13 girls final. And it was a big backhand there. She seems to, it's almost like a sweeper backhand right across the body. And she's just taken it as well. They're taking the first game at 11-6. Again, the backhand on those last couple of points really winning the game effectively. 11-6 there to the Australian, who is the fifth seed against the third seed, Annabelle Romero Gimmel. 11-6 in that under-13 girls final. Quite interesting when you see the backhand creating the winners. For a lot of the players, like the younger players, it was the forehand that tended to be the winning, particularly in the Zoe Lepper loved that forehand. She really loved it. The backhand, not so much the strongest one here, but Mazouk, I think for a lot of the younger players, if they can win points from the backhand, that's a real bonus. Is that right? Yeah,
I think so. The backhand is really a lot harder for the young kids to learn that technique on the backhand. But, with good coaches and things. And
there's a lot of good coaches around at the present time. And Annabelle coached, I guess, by her father, Victor, who are well known in racket sports around the country. And that door there, a little bit of an issue. I couldn't close it myself. So here we go, starting off the second game. Mazouk winning the first 11-6 over Annabelle Romero Gimmel. And the players there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what both coaches had to say to the players. I think for Annabelle, she probably just has to settle a little bit, get the ball in those corners, and just relax, I think, and enjoy their moment. I think it was a pretty nervous start for her in the first, whereas Maya started, really well. So, it'll be interesting to see how Annabelle starts off this game. One love down, it is pretty nerve-wracking. She probably needs to get a good lead if she can, Annabelle, in this match. Yeah, so she doesn't go
Well, at this
too
point,
love
she's
down.
been dominating up the front there, and they're forcing a player back, forcing Mazouk back. Has to be dominating the front. And long rally. And this occasion up 2-1.
Yeah, Annabelle, yeah, sort of getting those corners a lot more, I think. We're forcing Maya into the mistake a little bit more.
What about the change of pace for a lot of, again, younger players, and I guess older juniors as well? The change of pace is so beneficial. I mean, it's so tempting to just whack it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Most of them are sort of, yeah, it is, I guess, one pace at the moment. They probably move the ball more to the front of the court a little bit more, quite a lot at this age. Are they using height on the front more? Probably not so much intentionally anyway. So,
well, when does the drop shot really come into it a lot more for players? Is it they start developing it more as a later in teens, or is it if you're really good, you're going to have it here as well as a weapon?
Yeah, they do usually call it junior squash, where so juniors go short all the time.
Okay.
You know, they sort of, yeah, not really hitting it to the back as much, I guess. But I think really developing their drop and a technique for a drop probably comes around, you know, when they're sort of 12, 13, you know, I think.
All right, so here we go. It's a bit of a turnaround in the second game. 5-2 up as Romero is at 5-2, although the serve there with Mazouk. And she dominated the first, 11-6. But in the second, a change of tactics perhaps, or a change of mindset. That's really helping the Kiwi there. She's in the back corner now, though. A little bit of trouble. Another backhand cross. The forehand into the corner there from Romero. And big gap there opens up for Mazouk. It's across the court a lot, right up the front into the back there for
Yeah,
Mazouk.
that's great. Yeah, that was absolutely great rally. Girls moving the ball around, you know, really well, front and back. So Annabelle will be pretty relieved to get that point and to go 6-2 up. Annabelle's got a good lead now, 4 points. Yeah, she just needs to stay in front here.
Although a difficult one, using both players in the last 2 points, albeit going each way, using the backhand corner right into the backhand as well, giving each other no room into that corner. You've really just got to, wow, you're almost putting yourself against both walls.
Yeah, that was a really good return of serve, nice and tight in the back corners. So, yeah, another error from Maya. So, probably a forced error. She probably didn't really need to be, you know, volley drop there, maybe hitting it long again.
So 7-3 there to the Kiwi against the player, the 5th seed from New South Wales, who's come through at the top of the draw. Romero was the bottom half of the draw and put in some good performances, also in the Trans-Tasman as well. We spoke about the Trans-Tasman earlier on. The Kiwis winning the first Trans-Tasman test, that was 12-6. The second one was 13-5. So very similar score lines there, and 5th year in a row the Kiwis winning the Executive Travel Trans-Tasman Test Series here at Remuera Rackets Club. Then, of course, we've had the Oceanias to follow. And finals day here, 10 finals in total. A lot of finals starting from 8 o'clock through until 2 p.m.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy day, so we wanted to try and finish a little earlier today, so we know people are travelling back to Australia and, you know, and back down the country. So early start for these young ones, but there's a nice day. It's nice and warm here in Auckland today, so I don't think they've been affected too much by the cold. But it's also nice for the finals to be all live streamed as well on this main court, so anyone, friends and supporters back home watching as well. So
all right, and we have game point there. So game point to the Kiwi, Annabelle Romero Gemmell, 10-4 up on the serve, down to the backhand side there, forcing Mazouk into the forehand with a nice return. Oh, into the wall there. Not quite. Did she need to move forward more? What did she need to
she was probably just a bit keen on that shot, I think. She sort of ran into the wall a little bit too quickly. But yeah, Maya's just made a few errors in this game. That's sort of, yeah, why she's sort of down by game point. But, you know, Annabelle, this is probably a big point. This point, next point was a pretty big point.
Going to the backhand corner there for Romero. And forehand cross again.
Yes, that backhand corner again, that really deep length.
Both players using that backhand corner to, I mean, to really their strengths. We haven't seen too much in the forehand corner, have we?
No, not really. I think as a junior, yeah, you just sort of do practice that backhand a lot because it is a much harder shot to be hitting all the time. So,
well, Shelley, as a high performance manager at Squash NZ, what would be the next step for someone like Annabelle Romero, she, let's say, continues on in this final, whether she wins or loses, what's the next step for her? Just keep on playing tournaments around the country, national champs?
Yep, definitely. We've got the New Zealand Junior Open in less than 2 weeks' time in Tauranga, so Annabella will be playing that. She's part of our national squads, which are held up in Auckland. She's probably involved in district squads as well through Central, and I'm sure she plays a few other sports as well, which is good at this age. So, plenty of pathways definitely for players this young.
All right, we're into the third game now, 1 apiece. Mazouk from New South Wales, the 5th seed, winning the first 11-6. And Annabelle Romero-Gimmel from Squash Gym in Palmerston North winning, the second 11-6 as well. And also winning that first point.
Yeah, that was more like a routine, that sort of first rally. Maya stuck in the back corner. She could only boast it, and Annabelle in the cross court there. So, but yeah, 1-1. So anyone's match now, I guess. Looks like Annabelle sort of calmed down a little bit, found her groove, I think, and hitting those corners a lot better.
I mean, it's almost like as a parent or as a coach, you've really just got to keep on saying to the younger ones in particular, maybe it's with the older ones too, just calm, play what I, do what I said to do.
Yeah, exactly. It is very nerve-wracking. All the kids at this age, that they wouldn't have been in this situation very often. So.
And what about when you're young? Think back when you were young and you had a bit of an audience, and you were playing junior finals. I know you're in a few. Was it all about thinking, gee, there's my parents there's my friends and coaches, rather than, gee, I've just got to concentrate?
Yeah, you can't really think about that at all. You sort of have to, just focus really on each point. And I never really sort of looked out into the back court often when I was playing. Just, trying to focus on what was going on the court, I guess.
Well, that probably helped you win a few titles. 5-love in the third for Annabelle Romero-Gimmel. Of course, game split, and the first 2 were split there. Yeah,
Maya's sort of, just not really getting those corners a few areas and well. And Annabelle's really standing up the court now. As we can see, Maya's sort of stuck in the back corners quite a lot.
Dominating here on the forehand side. To the backhand corner, though. Waiting for the drop.
Great boast there. Yeah, but Annabella is targeting Maya's backhand, backhand deep. So maybe that's what her coach has told her to do. So Maya just whipping it across court there to win that point.
Yeah, Annabelle was just a little bit wrong-footed on that one. And
wow, it's a great drop there. I think that was too good. Annabelle's not going to ask for a let there, so.
Yeah, be hopeful, wouldn't it? So we've got 2-6. We got to 1-6.
No, maybe she did get a let for that.
Okay, well, there you go, 1-6. And let's see what she's doing there. So Mazouk using the drop a little bit more in this third game, although not helping fully. 2-6 now.
Yeah, so she's bringing Annabelle forward. All Annabelle can really do is cross-court from that front forehand, and Maya's in the back there waiting just for a pretty easy straight drive there. But another great boast from Annabelle there off the serve. So.
And we've got 7-2 serving. Romero-Gimmel winning the second 11-6, although she dropped the first 6-11 against Maya Mazouk, the 5th seed from New South Wales.
Well, this is a great rally. Annabelle's getting a lot back and then forcing the air from Maya.
Yeah, turning around there and just straight into the tin, low into the tin from the back of the court. 8-2.
Yeah, these girls have played a lot of squash over the past week. So, their last match. So I think they'll be pretty tired now, and we're looking forward to a few days of rest after this.
Well, 9-2. School holidays for Australia started about a week ago. For New Zealand, just started yesterday. So a couple of weeks off, probably a lot of training as well, but I'm sure their coaches and parents will give them maybe a little bit of downtime for a day or two.
Yeah, there's the Australian Junior Open this weekend at Easter in Sydney, so a lot of these players will be going on to that.
An easy game there for Annabelle Romero Gimmel, 11-2, and as you were saying there, Shell, Romero Gimmel just came out very strong in the end and really dominated that.
Yeah, she is. She's getting onto the ball early, hitting those corners, yeah, and really getting good length, good depth, good serve.
And we're back now with the under-13 girls final. And this is Maya Mazouk, the 5th seed from New South Wales in Australia, up against the 1st seed, Annabelle Romero Gimmel. We're into the 4th game already. 1-1 in this, the 4th. Shelley, that 3rd game there for Annabelle Romero Gimmel was a little bit of a domination. She managed to really choose her places on the court, her position on the court, and really dominate.
Yeah, she's not really giving Maya much time to think about it, even, especially between serves. You know, Annabelle's walking straight over to the service box to serve. So really, yeah, Maya's probably just sort of needs a little bit of a breather and gather her thoughts.
And there we go, the forehand winner coming in close, having the option. The drop wasn't too much of a drop, and it gave Romero Gimmel the opportunity to hit that forehand winner right into the backhand court. 3-1 now, the lead.
Yeah, the girls are trying to move it to the front of the court as quickly as they can. But most of the time, if they are going short, they are actually losing that rally. The next person is coming in and pretty much just hammering it to the back of the court. So, yeah, Maya probably needs to just be getting it to the back of the court a little bit more. But then Annabella is forcing that short ball.
All right, and it's 4-1 now as we're deep into the 4th game. Our winners already so far, Zoe Lepper winning the under-11 girls. Then we had Eric Marsh, the top seed, winning the under-11 boys. And this, the under-13 girls. And we do have the boys under-13s coming up not too far away. Reese Holmes against Aaron Madden, the 1 versus 2 seeds there. Plenty of finals today, in fact 10 of them. 4-3 though to the Kiwi up against Mazouk in this, the 4th game.
Yeah, another forced error there by Maya. She's had a couple of really good rallies, you know, to start in this 4th game.
And Mazouk just coming back a little bit. All right, let's see who's got the strongest mind here, Shelley, because we're now at 5 each in the 4th.
Yeah, I think it's always quite hard when you got that lead to kind of finish it off.
I reckon it'd be easier if you got the lead.
Well, no, it's not. That's what squash is all about. It's a really mental game. Yeah, great rally there from Annabelle. So you're getting pretty tight now. Myers can't afford to be making any errors in this game. She doesn't want to sort of give the match to Annabelle at this point.
Some nice backhands there. And, Do we have a twist on the ankle? Looked as though, again, not sure which way to go, changing directions, and a little bit of a grimace there from Romero.
Yeah, I think she was just off guard a little bit. So Maya, you know, she's still going for those short shots. That was just above the tin there. So, yeah, we're really going for it. I think Annabelle just needs to keep those sort of rallies going as long as she can, and hoping for Maya to make that error. A great shot from Maya into that backhand corner.
So are we going to go 5? Because at the present time, it's the serve advantage there to Mazuk. 8-6 against Romero Gemmell from Squash Gym out of Palmerston North. We're in the 4th.
A couple of big rallies are going to be coming up here. Whoever sort of keeps their nerve, I guess. Once again, those errors. Not the best shot from Maya. A few shots in the middle of the court, you know, and that ball just going up above the tin there. So
one really
nervous.
Straight into the body, and when it's straight into the body there, what are you going to do? You should be doing a backhand more than a forehand. That one was I don't know what you call it, but it was effective in the
forehand. Yeah, well, winning shot.
It was unorthodox, but it worked in the end. I guess that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how it looks, as long as you win the point.
So 8-all on the 4th. Big point coming up for these girls. Annabelle change her tactics a little bit to the forehand.
And being able to
creating
smash
that loose shot.
Yeah. When you've got that height and you're certain of it on your forehand, you can put it in any direction. And that case, to put it into the backhand, gave her opponent no chance.
Big rally here. Force the error.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a game ball, match ball, 10-8. Annabelle Romero Gemmell, the 3rd seed from Squash Gym out of Palmerston North against Maya Mazuk.
Oh, lucky bounce there on match ball.
Yeah, I was thinking,
you need those ones.
You can't plan that one too often, but it worked.
Yeah.
9-10, Mazuk serving.
Big rally here.
And there we go, the error on the backhand.
Great game.
And a win there for Annabelle Romero Gemmell, the 3rd seed from Palmerston North, 6-11, 11-6, 11-2, 11-9. 3 games to 1. That is the title there, under-13 girls title for Annabelle Romero Gemmell from Palmerston North. Congratulations there to both players. Good match, good game. Coming up very shortly, we're going to have Reese Holmes, the top seed, against Aaron Madden, the 2nd seed from Australia, and that'll be a top under-13 boys singles. Not too far away. In fact, about 10 minutes away, we should have that game coming up. Thank you very much there, Shelley Kitchen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now let's welcome on the players for the Under-13 boys final here at the Oceania Championships. The second seed from Adelaide, Ariane Madden, welcome onto the court. Let's have a round of applause. And from Hawarau and the Naki, let's get the first seed, the top seed, Reese Holmes. And our referee for this match, let's have a round of applause for Heather Finlay. Come on, guys, that means you have to applaud. Well done. All right, this final is the best of 5. We have the ball there. We're going to take the photo now. All right, guys, if you can line up against the wall there. All right, you can, your rackets up. All right, nice smile. Another photo as well. All right, and finally, guys, acknowledging the crowd and the referees. Give them an acknowledgement. Yep, go on, rackets up to them. Okay, good stuff. All right, well done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this final underway. Get your warm up, guys.
starting to come back here. It was a good start from Holmes. It's always important to get a good start in these matches, especially if you got a few nerves.
Yeah,
Settle
exactly.
down.
These guys will be feeling a few nerves, even though they were cool as cucumbers when I spoke to them before the match. They were, they seemed pretty confident and cool, but no matter what, when you get out there in the court, and there's a big crowd there as well, and don't forget, people, you're welcome to come down and tell your friends to come down or watch on the live stream. We have a total of 10 finals today. What about that backhand drop, almost a slice there? Not quite coming off on this occasion there for Madden, but that should be a weapon for these guys at this age from now on.
Oh, it was definitely the right shot to play. Just snatched it a little bit. That's a good shot there.
So the drops, the short balls coming in a lot more when you're in the under 13 level and onwards.
Yeah, you've got to be playing them, even if they don't win the rally, they're a great shot to play, and you've got to be working your opponent. Can't just be playing the back of the court.
So both players there trying to dominate up the front. 8-5 at the moment, and Rhys Holmes from Harwater up against Ariane Madden from Adelaide. This is the top 2 seeds in this draw. Remember, we've had about 170 players overall throughout these last few days. Well organised there by Deanna Forsyth from Squash NZ and also from Remuera Rackets as well. So, yeah, great stuff there. It hasn't been easy. And 9-5 now, Holmes with the lead and the serve. And the backhand drop and...
Still the right shot to play there.
Yeah,
just aimed a bit too low, but definitely the right shot. He's got to keep going in there.
But that's the thing, at any level, I guess, you see it fail once, you think, gee, I don't want to do it again.
Just having the confidence to keep playing the right shot, even if it's not quite working.
All right, he's got the advantage here. It is a game point, Holmes against Madden, and this the under 13 boys final.
Shot.
All right, so there we go. That was the shot. A little bit, you've got, 3 or 4 game points against you, but then you've got the confidence to actually play something like that.
Well, you can't be giving away a cheap point even though your game ball down. You've got to really make Holmes work for it, and that's what he's doing here.
Well, some big running there from Holmes to stay in this point, and then gets the game 11-7. Madden really had that point.
Yeah,
but some big running.
Very high quality game that. Good retrieving, playing good shots. I think we're in for a good one here.
All right, Rhys Holmes winning the first game 11-7 over the second seed, Ariane Madden, and this the under 13 boys final. And now back in the second game of the under-13 boys final. Rhys Holmes taking the first, 11-7 over the second seed, Ariane Madden, the Australian from Adelaide. And it is 1-love in the second there with Holmes. Got that 1 point. In fact, he has the serve now, 2-love. And Sam says, what have you thought about the first game in it a little bit?
Well, it's been a really good game so far. Rhys getting off to another good start here. And that's helping him along. It was a good comeback from Ariane. That's another great drive there. I think Ariane's going to have to play very well to get back here because Rhys seems to be on fire at the moment. And that's a good start.
When does a player such as Rhys have to move to a bigger centre from Hawera? Like, say, even to Palmerston North, not too far away, so he can't get there. Does he have to move to Auckland, or can he stay in somewhere like Hawera as long as possible?
I'm sure he can stay there for quite some time yet. It just depends how hard he wants to work, you know. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you're training hard and playing the right sort of people, and I'm sure he can stay in Hawera for quite some time yet.
All right.
But it's always important to come up to the big cities every now and then, just to play different competitions, different people. But he's doing very well so far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's up at 3-2 in the second game against Adelaide's Arian Madden. And looking up the ref, and the referee there, Heather Finlay, another experienced ref. So we do have some very experienced referees today. Big wind-up there on the forehand of Reese. He's really got the racket way up and way back. It's not a short jab at it.
No, not at all. He's generating a lot of power from that. It was a great cross-court.
So on this occasion, it was Madden there really getting the angle and forcing Holmes into the backhand side and really deep.
He's fighting really well here. He's had a couple of bad starts in each game, but he's coming back.
Okay, what's he going to do? The drop. The drop almost took Madden out.
Some great retrieving. Not afraid to go short, are they?
No, this is really good. What we're seeing here is, you know, these are under 13 boys. You know, we're not talking about the Madden as such in the under 19s.
No.
We're talking about players who are still under 13, but they're playing quite a mature game.
Oh, without a doubt. There's very few errors going on here as well. It's all winners, like another one what we just saw there.
So what Madden was able to do was get in closer on the forehand side. He had the options. Holmes was behind, but he was able to pick and choose where he needed to go for that winner. Oh,
great retrieval.
And in this particular game, Holmes is having to do a lot of running. He's getting there, but it's probably going to take a lot out of him.
He's done a lot of work so far in this game, and you get to the fifth set, rallies like that start to take their toll.
Yeah, we're at 5-all in the second, with Holmes winning the first 11-7. But yeah, this is what could take the toll. He's not winning points easy.
No, Madden's really picked up his game now.
So what would you have said to Madden after he'd dropped that first? As coach,
I would say get the basics right first. It's quite a cold court. So if you can get the ball nice and deep to the back, then it really opens it up for you. And especially the drops on that score, staying quite short.
All right, so that's to do with the temperature, but I mean, outside now it's certainly warmed up a huge amount. We're still in the morning, but with the temperature warming up, the way they play will be different?
A little bit, but this is a court that, as you just saw there, rewards a good length. It's quite dead in those back corners, and the basics work very well here. You don't have to be too fancy.
All right, so there we go. Sam says just saying, well, if you keep it basic, you can do better on this. And again, it is Madden dominating there. He's got the point if he wants. Oh. What would you call that shot there by Holmes? It was on the full. It was a body shot almost.
Yeah, it was. It was great reaction.
You probably wouldn't put that in the coaching textbook, but it was effective, wasn't it?
It's definitely not in the coaching textbook, but sometimes you got to improvise.
Great improvising there. The second seed, though, Arian Madden has the 8-7 lead over the top seed Reese Holmes, and that's the second game, but it was Holmes winning the first 11-7.
It's a big game for Madden here. He's got to take this game. You don't want to be going too low down. Fearless again.
Yeah, 9-7. So it's been a little bit of a change of attitude, or certainly a change of form in the second game. And Madden now 9-7 up.
Well, he's just been positive, you know. He missed a couple in the first, but he's still going in. He's getting good rewards for it.
Let's see what the fitness levels are like of both players. As we've said, that Reese Holmes has certainly done a lot of running in the second game. He has the serve at 8-9. playing that backhand corner, both players. Oh, what are we going to do? We're going to give a let on that?
You get a stroke for that, I think.
Yep, there we go. We got the stroke. I was hoping for a let. You can take the stroke on that. It is game point there to Madden from Australia, the second seed.
Great shot.
And there we go, one each. Madden takes the second 11-8 after Holmes had taken the first 11-7. We are 1-1 in this, the under-13 boys final. And we're back now with the under-13 boys final. It is the top seed Reese Holmes up against the second seed Arian Madden, and we're at one game apiece. And Sam says been a good quality match so far, hasn't it?
Very good quality. Seems to have been just a little momentum change, actually in favour of Madden. He's really picked up the last game and a half.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to see the fitness tested for both players, but particularly for Holmes, who really did seem to have to throw himself around the court in the second game, which he dropped 8-11. It's now Madden up 3-love, quick lead already in this, the third game. We're here at the Remuera Rackets Club in Auckland. It's been a great Oceania Championships so far. We've seen Zoe Lepper take out the 11 girls, then Eric Marsh, the 11 boys, and Annabelle Romero-Gimmel take out the 13 girls. 3-1 up now. The second seed from Adelaide, Arian Madden, up against Reese Holmes from Howrah. Couple little drops, but then dominating there. Got the drop, managed to get in the middle of the court, had the choice of where to go on that forehand.
Yeah, great rally from him there. Took it short nicely, and then the loose ball presented and finished it well.
Okay, this time the forehand up high for Madden, able to hit down through it, and almost wrong foot his opponent, but certainly had, when you're hitting it up that high on the forehand, you can pick and choose where you want to go, can't you?
You can. Yeah, he's choosing good options now. He's making Reese do a lot of work here. Right shot again, just aimed a little bit low.
All right, 3-4. Holmes with the serve. What's he thinking now? Aside from, gee, I need to get back into it. But what's he thinking now? Where's he going to put this serve?
I mean, he definitely wants to get it on the side wall. And that's a good one there. He just wants to get the basics right before he starts shooting like that. I think he was a little bit fortunate there.
Yeah. 4 each.
This is a big game. There's a big difference between 2-1 up and 2-1 down. There's a huge difference.
Yeah, a little bit of luck going his way, and now Madden on the ground.
Great length from him.
I mean, he was forced on the ground. He was forced to throw himself at the ball in the forehand corner. So really, that's 3 points in a row that have gone towards Holmes, the top seed. One of them certainly fortunate. The other two, he worked it.
Each player seems to be getting on a little bit of a run here. It's not really point for point. Someone will start the game 3 points up, and someone will get 3 more. And
yeah, it was 3-1 to Madden, and now it's 7-4 to Holmes. He's got that run going in his favour, and it was just a little bit of fortune that helped him.
Yeah, it seemed to sort of, they're losing their confidence for a couple of points and they're gaining it. It's quite, they're quite up and down at the moment, but it's making for a good game. I could easily see this going to 5.
Yeah, exactly. And then it would seem that Natalie might be a little bit delayed getting in her match for the under-15 girls final.
You know, hopefully she's outside. There she is outside warming up now, so that's good to see.
You can see her through the window.
I'd be worried if she wasn't out there now, but no, it should be good. There's some great finals on today and some great talent on show.
Back off the back wall.
Oh, no.
Oh, what's he calling for there?
I think he got a bit distracted. He hitting the ball. He was thinking he'd gone out instead of playing the point. That could be a big miss.
Yeah, exactly. So 7-all now.
Nice working boast again. He's got a few options there now. He can take the volley drop and take it long. And he's got the boast as well, so Reese is covering 4 or 5 shots now.
So another change in fortune, another change in points here. Madden now ahead 8-7. Strong backhand.
10, I think.
Yeah, but too strong. I guess when you're in a position like that, you're just going to, sometimes you're going to overhit.
Yeah, it's all about who can hold their nerve now. Keep the ball up. Stay calm. We've got to remember these guys, they're only young, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
They're only 12 there. They've still got a lot of learning to do, and it's a big occasion.
Yeah, and a stroke there for Holmes, up 9-8 now. It's, I know it sounds really old to say it's anybody's game, but in this one it really is.
It definitely is, without a doubt.
They're both playing mature shots, mature rallies, and just every now and then one little error, or one forced error, one fortunate shot is really pushing it from one player to the other. 9 each.
Got both guys are playing well now. That's a great shot. So it's who can hold their nerve and play the right shot at the right time.
All right, well, we've got game point here, 10-9 to Holmes, the top seed from Hawera, up against the second seed, Ariane Madden from Adelaide. There we go.
Great serve.
So what did he do wrong on there? Madden just didn't seem to know where it was.
It was a great serve. The ball seemed to hit the neck, and he just skied it out. Caught a little bit, which is a bit unfortunate, but it was a high quality game. I think this is going to set up well for the 4th and potentially a 5th.
All right, so Reese Holmes, the top seed, taking the first 11-7, dropping the second 8-11, and winning the third 11-9. So he's up 2 games to 1 in this, the under-13 boys singles. And we're back with the under-13 boys final. Reese Holmes, the top seed from Hawara and Taranaki, up against the second seed, Arian Madden from Adelaide, Australia. It is 2-1 to Holmes after winning the third game 11-9. And Sam says, quick couple of points already for Holmes, but we've seen the momentum change so many times throughout the match. It's still anybody's.
Oh, it is, Dave. But another good start here. That's another great shot. It was imperative that Madden got a good start, being 2-1 down. And the psychological advantage of being 2-1 up for Holmes could carry him through here with the momentum.
Now, appearances are deceiving at times, but if you had to look at it, you'd say that Madden just hasn't showed any emotion all the way through, really. Doesn't appear to be tired or anything, whereas Holmes is, he's shown some emotion, nothing wrong with that. Appeared a little bit more tired from what we can see, but again, as you said, appearances can be deceiving.
No, Holmes has definitely done more work in this match, but I feel he's kept the ball up long enough for Madden to hit the error, even if he's done a lot more work. And sometimes you just got to claw one more ball back, get one more ball up, and then just like there, the error will come.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't expecting that one from Madden. He's been relatively safe on that backhand, sometimes trying a little bit too much. But now we have 4-2 in this, the fourth. Coming up, that was a great shot. I thought it was going cross-court.
Yeah, so did I.
Kind of faked it almost, and then down the line, power shot.
He's getting a lot more confident now, Reese. You can see it. You see he's got a real spring in his step now.
You've got to think 5-2 up, but then you also don't want to think about it too much.
No, not at all. You just want to be taking it 1 point at a time.
Yeah, because then you do something like that, and there's the error. It is 3-5, Madden 7.
Be interesting to see if we see another momentum switch.
Backhand there, and a couple of backhands, but Holmes gets to it, but not this time.
Another great rally. Some fantastic retrieving going on here.
Yeah, one thing you notice is that Holmes has really run down a lot of shots. He's certainly got a big swing even when he's going up close.
So we'll test his fitness here, because Madden still looks pretty fresh.
So long rally, both players moving around a lot. And there we go with the drop. What are we calling here?
No let.
Don't think so. No let.
Set up by the cross court there, a good deep length.
All right, so there we go. That is Reese Holmes up 6-4. 2 points, not quite enough the way these two are playing.
Really is point for point, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think any player has been satisfied or happy with the lead.
No.
Nice recovery. Back in the rally. No.
Oh, the leisure boast.
Yeah. 7-5. Just remember, folks, this is actually the under-13 boys final, but they're certainly playing at a quality level above their ages. Part of the Oceania Championships and the under-13 boys final. Top seed, Reese Holmes from Hawara, up against second seed, Arian Madden from Adelaide. And Sam, oh, nice recovery, almost a double bounce there, picked it up late.
Great shot.
8-5.
Well on his way now. Playing very well, Reese.
So 3 points between them and 3 points away from victory for Reese Holmes.
Just got to keep it together now, keep it cool. Keep doing the basics right. Just as someone gets on a run, the other comes
exactly.
back.
Yeah, exactly. We thought we had a 3-point run and 3 points ahead. And it just doesn't happen, a quick winner. Makes for exciting squash.
It's great to see. You can see both boys are really trying their hearts out here.
And 9-6 now. Very happy with that one. The fist pump on the winning shot there for Reese Holmes. Yeah, another one there.
Again.
Yeah, okay, so here we go. This is game ball, match ball. 10-6 up for the Kiwi. All right, what are you going to do now? Keep it steady or go for the shot?
Well, there's two minds of thought. For me, I'd keep it steady, but some people just go for it. Sometimes it's better just to go for it. I can see Reese is playing pretty conservatively here. Just going for it now.
Oh, gets it. There we go.
Great match.
All right, well done to both of these players, and we'll be back with the girls under 15 final. Your sister, in fact, Sam, Natalie Sayers against Sophie Hodges shortly. But in the meantime, that was Reese Holmes winning 11-7, 8-11, and then the final two games there as well. So a good win there, 11-9, 11-6. We are going to get underway very shortly with the under 15 girls final. Natalie Sayers, the top seed, up against Sophie Hodges, the second seed.
Now be ready for the under 15 girls final. Let's introduce from Hamilton the second seed, Sophie Hodges. Let's have a round of applause, a little bit more enthusiastically. And from Belmont Park on the North Shore of Auckland, Natalie Says. You can go on that side as well. And the referee for this match is Brett Simon. Brett. All right, let's now have both players back against the wall there for a photo. All right, and let's have both players acknowledge the crowds and referees there. Rackets up in the air, acknowledge them enthusiastically. Great. All right, this is best of 5. You've got the ball over there. All right, now you can start your official warm-up. Let's go.
And welcome back to the under-15 girls final. This is top seed Natalie Says. She is in the all black up against the second seed Sophie Hodges, who has got these stripes across her front. So it is a top seed Natalie Says up against second seed Sophie Hodges. And joining me now, Shelley Kitchen, New Zealand squash high performance manager. And we're expecting a big game here. Two players that know each other quite well, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think these girls have been playing against each other as juniors for many years. Last time they played was a junior quadrangular only a couple of weeks ago. And Natalie had a win over Sophie there. So, yeah, I think we're going to be in for a really good match today.
Does it matter that outside it's certainly a lot warmer? Will that reflect in the court a bit more and make it a lot... Would it make it free-flowing or a little bit easier for the players?
Yeah, it's a really nice temperature at the moment. I think the ball looks like it's flying around. They've probably got a new ball as well, which always sort of makes it pretty bouncy. And there's lots of people watching as well. So, yeah, lots of bodies in the court, in the venue. So, yeah, I think we're going to see some pretty long rallies and games here.
Because I recall last year for the senior nationals at your club Henderson, it actually got so warm, even though it was more in winter time, it got very warm on the court for the players, which was fine. Created a lot of good rallies and things, but also some good winning shots. But that is, I guess, one thing in Auckland. If you do have a squash club, you have to be very aware that even in winter it can still get humid. Yeah,
and then it was raining in Henderson last year as well, so we sort of had a few condensation issues as well, unfortunately, because it was, so warm with so many people around. But it was a really great event in Henderson last year with the Nationals, with Paul and Joelle back, and also Campbell, Grayson and Amanda, and the Commonwealth Games team was had a ceremony for them last year as well. So.
Yeah, certainly some successful results around the world for our top players, with Paul Cole and Joelle King in the top 10 at the moment, in fact in the top 5, both of them. But in this match, it is Sophie Hodges, the second seed, up 6-2 over Natalie Says in the final of the Oceania champs. And what are we seeing so far to put Sophie ahead 7-2 with Joelle? Shelley, I've just made you even younger.
Oh, yeah.
In the top of the
I'm quite
world.
happy with that. Yeah, Sophie sort of doesn't look like she's nervous at all. She's just going full steam ahead. Natalie's sort of behind the ball a little bit, stuck in the back corners. Yes. But I think, Natalie's got a lot of experience. She's at 4-7 now. Sophie might sort of start to get tired a little bit towards the end of the first game. So I think Natalie probably just needs to settle a little bit, find her nerves, find those corners, where Sophie had a great start so far.
Well, what we found in the last final, the under-13 boys, Reese Holmes against Ariane Madden, had Sam Says with me, who obviously is sister's playing now. And what we saw was the ebb and flow. Someone would get a three-point run, and then the next player would get a three-point run. It was never really a big lead. It was always just a little run, and then someone would come back. And then we may be having that now, because Sophie Hodges got a handy lead, but now it's back just to 1 point with Natalie Says she's 6-7.
Yeah, it's pretty quick turnaround. The girls, all the players have to be thinking about every point, where they're putting the ball every time they're actually hitting it. Anything loose, there's a lot of talented players. They are just really putting that ball away. So it's really important to keep it nice and tight, and keep it in the corners, just like Sophie just did there. So Sophie just ahead by 1, just sort of keeping her nose in front at the moment.
Nothing to indicate that either player has got the better shots so far. Pretty even all round. Yeah,
they played quite a similar game. Lots of really low kill shots, anything around the middle. They're both girls that are really not afraid to go for those winners. That don't really tend to rally too much. So pretty similar game.
A little bit of a comeback here for Natalie. She's now up 9-8 after a winning shot there, using the forehand into the corner and short to move Sophie around, but this time in the backhand corner. And now a few tactics coming in.
Yeah, this is a fantastic rally, probably the best rally of the game so far, moving the ball around and then setting up Sophie for the volley kill. So most points have been won on a kill shot, which is quite an easiest shot to play. when you're feeling a little bit nervous and a bit anxious, rather than sort of those placement shots, I think.
And 9 apiece, and that was the forehand smash almost. Moving around now, Sophie, being at the back of the court, but now she's trying to get near the front. But Natalie pushing her back.
Yeah, Sophie's doing some really great retrieving in this game. Like, the ball is stuck in the corners. However, Sophie's managing to sort of really still straighten it up.
And there we go. The forehand winner there for Natalie. She's now up 10-9, so she has the game point. Just managed to run Sophie around a lot there and then dominate from the front and hit that forehand winner.
Yeah, whoever is in the front of the court, yeah, is winning the points, really.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so Natalie one game up. She's pretty lucky to get that game after a pretty big lead that Sophie had. So Sophie will be disappointed that she didn't win that first game.
All right, so 11-9 is that first game indeed in the under-15s. We've got to remember this is still under-15s. They're not even 15 yet, but they're playing some very good rallies, very mature points there. And we'll just be back in just a moment as the players take a break in between games. And we're back into the second game of this, the under-15 final. Top two seeds, Natalie against Sophie here, and Natalie taking out the first 11-9. Been an interesting first game so far there, Shelley Kitchen. What have you thought? No one's really grabbed it by the scruff of the neck and said, this is mine.
No, not yet. Sophie had a really good lead in that first game. Natalie came back, calmed her nerves a little bit. Interesting to see how this second game will go. Yeah, Sophie sort of, playing a couple of good shots there, but experienced as Natalie is, she will get it back.
Yeah, these two players, a little bit of history of games and practice, and I guess they're sort of rated against each other to come through and see who actually come through and develop even more. I mean, they've got plenty of time, as we said, they're still under 15 level. Yeah,
I think these girls have been competing against each other for many years and will go on to compete. And they're in the elite junior girls squad at the moment. This is actually a selection tournament for the World Junior girls. They're going to Malaysia in July. So every match is pretty important. They're also playing for themselves, their clubs, players, sponsors, etc. But they're also playing for a spot in the New Zealand team this year. So.
All right,
lots
great
riding on
stuff.
it.
Yeah, a lot riding on it. 3-all in the second. And if people are watching this, they can come down. It's parking still here at Remuera Rackets Club. Great club rooms for squash and tennis. Got the gym as well. Everything here, and you can get to see some great squash. Of course, we go right through until the last final of the championships will be 2 p.m. And that one's going to be a good one as well, because that is Gabe Yam up against Anthony Lepper, two players who have PSA rankings already. And they're still 18 years old. But in the meantime, in this one, it is 5-4. Natalie just ahead of Sophie in the second game, and of course Natalie taking the first 11-9. Playing it down the backhand side there neatly, and then the cross-court backhand shot.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast court, this one, and yeah, with it being quite warm as well, so anything loose, the players are just punishing that shot on a kill, straight kill or cross-court kill. So if you are taking in short, these girls have to really be thinking about, where are they placing that ball. It's got to be pretty tight, or it's got to be really hitting the neck, otherwise it's coming back at them pretty quick.
So
But yeah,
scores.
some sort of high sort of pressurized sort of shots coming off there, just off the serve there.
Exactly.
Just the girls are really going for it.
And then it's just as we say that, an error comes in from trying to push it too far or too hard.
Yeah, I think they're still pretty nervous by the looks of it. Not too many long rallies. Any opportunity, they're just really going for it, just like that. You know, just off a backhand drive, and then Sophie's hits a cool shot there for the winner. So
Exactly.
this is at a no time to muck around and anything loose.
All right, and we're at 7 apiece in this, the second. And it looks as though we had the double bounce there. So 8-7 there for Natalie over Sophie at the moment. Is this what you would expect from players like this? Is this the sort of game that you would expect?
Yeah, they do play pretty similar. Hard and fast, and anything loose, they're really prepared to put that ball away. So
Down the backhand side there.
yeah, so once again, anything in that middle of the court, and these girls are, they're very talented, and they have the ability just to put that ball away. So
How often would you say these players would be training a day?
they'll be training twice a day.
Okay.
Yep, so probably up to 3 hours a day, I guess. Sometimes if they're not training in the morning before school, they'll definitely be doing 2 to 3 hours a day at night. So that's...
Because we do forget they also have school.
Oh, yes, they do. But these girls are training for the World Championships in July, so selection for that. You know, so I think that's what you would expect at this elite level anyway.
And is it beneficial for players, even at the under-15 level, to be playing other sports as well? Just to keep them, I wouldn't say level-headed, but just to keep them doing other things, to actually keep the, skills from one sport to come over to another sport?
Yeah, definitely. They do have to decide at sort of some point just to be picking that one sport, more so for injuries and time as well. And they do have skill and a lot of things they have to focus on as well. So Sophie does play hockey.
Okay.
So she's a rep hockey player and has been scouted for New Zealand squads in the past. But we're lucky enough that she is sort of heavily involved in squash at the moment.
Well, she's got the game point in the second game at the moment, 10-9 up. So we've had a few little turnarounds.
Yeah, that was a risky shot from Natalie, 10-9 down and going for a boast off the serve just above that tin. So
Yeah, exactly.
Really some risky shots coming from the girls.
So 10 apiece, and sometimes those risky shots, if they come off, that's really when you can take the advantage and go forward. But we're 10 apiece in this, the second game.
Yeah, this is probably one of the longest rallies of the match, I think. They sort of don't really want to be hitting any errors anyway, but just waiting for that opportunity. Great shot from Natalie there, and another forehand kill.
Exactly. Now, what we're watching is we're in the second game, and both players trying to take a little bit of a rest as they're picking up the ball, just take their time. You can see that it was deliberate from Natalie as she just wandered to the front there, came back, took her time, trying to tell herself to relax. She's got the game ball again, 11-10.
Yeah, just to get that composure, I think. Think about their serve, where they're putting that serve, what are they going to try and do in that next rally.
It seems that Sophie's ready to go, whereas Natalie's just trying to take a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Not too much, but just trying to steady herself.
Fantastic shot from Natalie. She's really dangerous around that middle of the court on the volley and on the kill. So Sophie has to sort of use that height a little bit more on the front wall to get it over Natalie's head.
So another game point here for Natalie to go ahead to love. And in fact, she
easy
has.
point, for Sophie there. For Natalie to grab that game.
So this second game, 13-11 after taking out the first, 11-9. And Natalie going ahead, 2 games to love in this, the under-15 girls final. And we're back in with the third game now of this, the girls under 15 final. And Natalie says, like that says, against Sophie Hodges. And it is Natalie up 11-9, 13-11. So the two-game lead there. Looking confident, but still not so confident that she's ahead and dominating, is she?
Yeah, it's been pretty close games. Like Natalie could probably easily be 2-love down as well. Sophie had the big lead in the first, and it was really close in the second as well. So, you know.
But there's not one factor that's saying this is why she's ahead by 2 games to love, is there?
No, not really. I think probably a few errors crept in from Sophie in that second game, which just comes from that pressure that Natalie is creating.
Yeah, it's been an interesting match, like you say, with nothing in particular giving her the lead, although she has, at times, on the forehand volley, really put those away, hasn't she?
Yeah, definitely. Like, she's a tall girl, strong girl, likes to hit it hard, so anything on that racket, you know, her favourite shot is a kill shot. So Sophie seems a little bit lethargic at the moment, probably a little bit down. She's 2-love down. But yeah, she has to find something pretty quickly if she's going to, you know, cause an upset here.
Yeah, certainly Natalie meeting her before the final, and it's like yes, she is a tall girl, and she's you know, particularly at this age, probably going to go on to be even taller. I'm like, well, that's something that in theory should help. In theory.
Yep, definitely. Great reach. But also a lot lower to get down to the ground and
yeah, it's good and bad, isn't it?
Into the front as well. So,
because when we look at a lot of the Egyptians who are doing so well in the PSA Tour, or dominating on the PSA Tour, none of them are really tall players compared to, say, Joelle King, who's very tall, about 5'10".
Yeah. Well, yeah, the top girls are quite compact. You know, really, quite small and. Yeah, really strong. So Joelle, I think, is one of the taller players on the circuit, along with Sarah Jane Perry. I think she's pretty tall. But yeah, advantages for both.
All right, and now we're up 5-3, and make that 5-4.
Yeah, Sophie sort of looks like she has just taken the pace off the ball a little bit more, not trying to force it.
Yeah, variations of pace, just so beneficial, particularly when you've got a powerful player such as Natalie says up the front.
There's a good shot from Natalie. Natalie just pulled Sophie into the front, thinking she'd go in a short, and then pushing it back into the back corner.
What are we going to call on that? No let?
No, I thought she would have asked for a let there. It wasn't sort of a clear winner. However, she was sort of moving in the wrong direction. So.
All right, so 7-4, make that 8-4. This is probably the biggest lead that we've seen in the game, almost 4 points.
Yep. Sophie probably just needs to gather herself a little bit, take a little bit more time in between points.
Yeah, 9-4.
Yeah, Natalie's quite happy to sort of hurry along in between rallies at the moment just to try and finish it off.
And the drop not coming off the tin this time. Great idea though, right?
Yeah, definitely the right shot to play. When you've got a lead like that, you've got nothing to lose really.
Yeah. Okay, well, there it is. It is the first game point of this, the third game, and also the first match point. 10-5, Natalie says, up against Sophie Hodges. See if she can wrap it up here.
Oh, great shot.
And the winner there. So 11-9, 13-11, 10-5. Straight game win there for Natalie says, up against Sophie Hodges, and a top win. Thank you very much there, Shelley Kitchen. Just a final word on this match. Impressive in the end in that third game for Natalie, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it was. You know, she came out really strong in that third. Obviously, 2-love up, you're going to be in a pretty positive mindset. But yeah, it was a great game. I think Sophie had her chances in that first and second game, definitely. So I think these two are going to have some great battles coming in the future.
All right, well, thank you very much there, Shelley Kitchen. And getting ready now for the under-15 boys. Oscar Curtis, the top seed. All right, coming up after the break, after a short break, it will be the under-15 boys final. Oscar Curtis from Australia up against Apa Fadlialofa, the second seed from the Henderson Squash Club in Auckland. Look out for that and keep watching here on this live stream. All right, and also more matches as well. But don't forget, we've got the under-17 girls and boys and the under-19 girls and boys as we continue throughout the afternoon. The final of the actual championships is going to be at 2 p.m. Gabe Yam against Anthony Lepper. That'll be a good one. So keep on the lookout here as we get underway. For this under-15 boys, not too far away. As I said, Curtis against Fadlialofa. It'll be a good one to watch. Tell your friends to keep on watching as well. We'd like to see as many people getting in behind these players, whether you're here at the venue, Remuera Rackets Club, or watching live stream as well. And don't forget our winners so far today, Zoe Lepper in the under-11 girls, and we've had Eric Marsh in the under-11 boys, and also in Annabelle Romero Gimmel in the 13 girls, and Reese Holmes in the under-13 boys.